Hey guys, it's Sammy. Welcome back to the channel. I am jumping on here today to say that I truly appreciate everyone who has reached out, commented, liked, subscribed, shared my videos. I really do appreciate it. I have a personal goal of 1,000 subscribers, and I know that that might not be a lot to you, but it's a lot to me, and it would mean so much to me if I could get there. And so if you don't mind, please like, subscribe, share, comment. You don't have to write me a letter, okay? You can drop me a heart in the comment section. I appreciate that so much. I truly do, and I look at all the comments, and I usually try my hardest to respond to all of them because I care. I care what you have to say, and I created this channel to be able to communicate with people, not just to, like, very selfishly just blab on here. Like, that's part of it, but that's not the reason. And I actually created this channel for my children because I thought, wow, there's so much garbage in this world, and I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. And so if I ever pass away, I would love there to be a place where my children can come and see what their mom believed about the Lord, and where my hope and my just everything lies is in God. And so that's why I created this channel. And then when we were introduced to the theology, I wouldn't even call it theology, more like an ideology of Calvinism, that kind of threw me for a tailspin. And if you haven't seen that video, go check out I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this one video. And I say that on that video because I probably am. My brother is actually the one that told me about Calvinism, and he's the one that really made me look into it. And not that he made me, but he brought it up, and I was like, that's not real, that's not God, that's, like, I've read my Bible, that's not true. But he was so die hard on it that he even told me he was gonna, like, write a book about it. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to write a book counteracting these views. And so we had just kind of joked about it, but it really did spin me into, like, a tailspin of, like, what is this ideology? And to me, it was a heresy. But you can watch all that on the other video. I'm not trying to get into all that jazz. But what I am trying to get into is a conversation with people on here as well. Because it's not just my children that can be influenced by media and the world out there. It's not just my children that will struggle with their theology and understanding of who God is and how much He loves us. There's people out there who don't have, and I was one of them. Honestly, I was not raised in the church, and I didn't really have anyone to influence me in a super positive light as far as Christianity goes. But the good Lord definitely dropped a couple people in my life. One in particular that when I was 16, 17 years old, she really made an impact on me, and it was only because the way that she lived. She loved Jesus, period, the end. And we are still friends to this day, so I've gotten the opportunity to tell her, because I think it's so cool to let people know, like, this is a seed that you planted and you didn't even know it, but God was working on it. And I was just so gracious for her living the life of a Christian. And she's a Protestant, so I have Protestants to thank for everything. But I do strongly believe that Catholics are the one true church, and that just goes from me investigating and looking into it and just searching history. And my husband was such a huge help with this. Like, he is a history guru, where I would rather go bake cookies, you know. And that's not to be is it misogynistic? Is that the correct word? Anyways, that could be wrong. But not to be like Betty Homemaker, but I literally just love baking and cooking, and I actually have a baking channel that's devoted for that. And this is just something that I had a stronger passion for once I got into the Bible and Jesus and His love, because there's nothing greater in this world than the love of Jesus. Nothing. So that's why I'm here. And so I really just appreciate everyone who's supported me so far, and say thank you for all the kind comments and stuff like that. And even the people who have been kind of aggressive simmer down, you know, usually when I try to be kind and and considerate about what they believe. Like, I'm going to hear you out. It doesn't mean that you're right, and it doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm going to hear you out, and I'm going to put up my best defense. And if I don't understand something, I will resource something where you can go, where somebody does understand what your question is, and has already answered it. Like, we live in a day and age where the internet, man, like, as much as it's negative and as much of a negative impact it can have, there's a lot of positive from it. Like, it was so easy for me to research history and all that stuff and come to Catholicism, because I have the internet and there's so many amazing people like Trent Horn and Jimmy Aiken and Ferris and the Shameless Popery, and like, there's so many people who are doing so many great things for Christianity and for Jesus, and the resources out there are unlimited, and you can really dive in. And there's also like a lot of Catholics, I think she's called like A Catholic Mom or whatever. I can't get into like all that because it's a little too intense for me right now. Like, I'm tippy-toeing through this Catholic walk, and she's like a freight train, you know? So if you watch this video, I love you. I do appreciate her topics that she talks about, but I want to be someone that has the opportunity to connect with Protestants and Catholics, and because I am in a very interesting position where I wasn't a Protestant, but then I became one, and I wasn't a Catholic, and then I became one. So I think I can definitely speak more volume on both of those things from the perspective of that. And yeah, I think it's important. So if you like this stuff, please share. Please let your friends know. And yeah, I don't know. I really hope that you're reading your Bible. I really hope that you're diving in. I really hope that like Jesus is it for you, because you only get one life, okay? And you don't get any redos. You don't. And you know, I recently lost my mom to cancer, and it was just really hard to walk through that. And without my faith, man, I don't know where I would be, but I feel like I've graciously walked through it way more graciously than I ever expected I would, especially to witness somebody slowly pass away. It's not easy, but by the grace of God, you know, I already knew Jesus, and so I have hopes for her. And now that I'm Catholic, I put up a short about this, that I can pray for her. I didn't know that as a Protestant. She passed away when I was still a Protestant, so I was still like, oh gosh, you know, kind of not really, like, I don't know, I just never prayed for her. And so as soon as I became Catholic, I think I said it in the short, the first thing I did was pray the rosary. The second thing I did was pray for my mom. So anyways, please like, share, subscribe, and get this out there, please, because I know that there's people out there that really, truly need to hear these things. So love to you all, and all to you love. We'll see you in the next video.